The University of North Alabama has been educating students in the music and entertainment industry since 1975. One of the first programs of its kind in the country, and the first in the state of Alabama. We've got a lot to be proud of as we celebrate the program's 50th anniversary. We want to share some of the alumni and their UNA stories.
I'm just moving through life, making the most of it as I can, not taking it too seriously. Because things come and go. I'm just fortunate to be able to make music and win Emmys, I guess. Hi, my name's Dillon Hodges, and this is my UNA story. I grew up here in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. I started playing guitar when I was around 11 years old, and my parents started taking me around to bluegrass guitar festivals and fiddle conventions. And at these fiddle conventions, they have guitar contests, so I would start competing in these guitar contests. And when I turned 17, I actually won the National Flatpicking Guitar Championship. And then I graduated high school and came here to UNA to go to school. I had a double major in entertainment, industry management, and accounting. I guess I thought I was going to be a business manager on the side in addition to being a musician. But when I graduated college, I basically right out of college got signed to Atlantic Records and put out my debut album under the name Firekid. Toured for a few years and needed a break, and so I took a few years off of making music, and what I decided I wanted to do was work with my favorite producer, Jay Joyce. So he produced, Miranda Lambert, but also Cage the Elephant. He kind of rides this line of he's had a lot of success in alt rock, but also popular country, which is where my Firekid music falls. On 4th of July or something, I was playing a show at the Basement in Nashville. It was a pretty hyped up show. The owner of the venue, Mike Grimes, came on the microphone and gave an emotional appeal to the crowd to support our music, which was very sweet. A couple weeks later, we got a message from Jay's manager that he wanted to meet with us. Turns out he was at that show that went so well, and so we came in and played him a few songs, and he decided he wanted to work with us, so we signed his publishing company, which was Warner Nashville. So we were signed writers, and we made this album, Muscle Shoals Metaphysical, that came out on Warner. We put it out, and it was kind of nothing came of it. I still think it's the best thing I've ever made. And I think it was a good reminder that was all that mattered. It was worth it. It was worth it to make it just because I loved it. And so I've tried to bring that energy into everything I've done ever since. During all of that time, I started working with a company called Little Dragon. They're like a video production company, and they make a show on PBS called Reconnecting Roots. It's a history show, but it focuses on the evolution of technology. And they came to me and they said, "We love what you do taking the old styles of music and modernizing them, and it's perfect for the show." And so they asked me to take songs like Take Me Out to the Ball Game and Home on the Range and make them cool. And that's a tall order, but it sounded very exciting to me, and I was absolutely down for it. So season 3 came out last year, and just this month found out that the theme song that I made for the show, Home, won an Emmy. I was surprised it was even nominated. In typical music industry fashion, this is just how I imagine things always happen in the music industry. I was on a call with the music supervisor for the show, and she was letting me know, your contract is going to end and not going to be renewed until they make a new season. So basically you're out of a job. It happens, but it's never the news that you want to hear. And so they're letting us know, basically, you're about to not have a job. And while I'm on that call, the producer of the show called in, and he said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that you're nominated for an Emmy." So as I found out I was getting laid off, I found out that I was getting an Emmy. I couldn't even go to the Emmy Awards show in Los Angeles because I'd already agreed to play a music festival that day. I was so preoccupied with everything that was going on at the music festival with my wife and I, and forgot it was happening. And so on the way home, I got a text message from someone that said, "I'm screaming." And I replied, "Why?" And they said, "You won." And I thought, oh yeah, that's right. The Emmys were tonight. So I found out as I was pulling in the driveway that I won. There's such a disconnect when news like that hits me, because here I am in Florence and just in a whole nother world away from Los Angeles and the television industry. We make a public television show, but I've been a believer in reconnecting roots from the beginning. It's so well made, the whole thing's so well put together, and I just believe in the vision so much. So I'm so glad that the show is getting recognition that it absolutely deserves. I like having the Shoals area as a home base for a few reasons. One, it's beautiful. Two, it's affordable. So I was able to buy a house here. Three, it's kind of still central to everything. It's not far from Memphis, Atlanta, Nashville, Birmingham, Huntsville. There's lots of music centers that are within 2 to 3 hours. 4, there's an insane amount of musical infrastructure here. There are so many studios, so many studio owners, so much gear, and so much knowledge and musical history here from people who have worked in the industry a long time that honestly just defies all logic why it would all be located in this area. It's so different than Nashville, which is hyper saturated with talent for sure, but it's saturated with industry too, where there's almost an entire industry mindset there that I felt stifled my creativity. And coming here, it inspired me. Everything that Nashville took from me, it made me feel like I was a commodity to be sold. I was able to come here and turn it around and make something because I loved it. And I couldn't have made the music that I made if I lived in Nashville. I was the producer of the Singing River Records record label, which was, sort of an extracurricular class that we did at the school. And I was involved with it for 3 or 4 years, depending on who the artist was, whether it was playing on it or, just being a part of it. And I produced an artist my senior year, Archie Hubbard, and that was just being involved in from start to finish the production of an album. Like, we signed the artist, we helped him write all these songs, and he was already a professional musician, sort of gigging around town. And then to get all of the songs together and produce them from scratch, hire musicians. I was involved in every aspect of it in a way that I was just not prepared for at the time. And like, having an entire production under my belt before I was even put out into the world I was already a producer by the time I graduated. And so when I moved on and got signed, I was already able to go out to LA and produce songs with people who were doing it, on Katy Perry albums and Bruno Mars albums. It didn't matter. I was already able to do it because I produced Archie's record, which was kind of incredible. So you just never know. I think it's important to just try to, even if it's hard sometimes, just to try to find ways to love what you do if you're making art.